Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Icon Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times, channel 276. The federal government of Nigeria has declared Friday, June 12 as a public holiday in commemoration of Democracy Day. The announcement was made by the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, on behalf of the federal government. In a statement signed by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Magdalene Ajani, the government said June 12 remained a significant day in Nigeria's history in honor of the courage, resilience and sacrifices of Nigerians whose efforts made democratic governance possible in this country. The federal government has signed an agreement with the government of Ethiopia to transfer more than 1,000 Nigerian prisoners serving sentences in Ethiopian correctional facility back to Nigeria. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, disclosed this in a post on his official X handle. Ojukwu says the agreement signed alongside the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi was aimed at facilitating the repatriation of Nigerian inmates currently held in Katin Prison and Abba Samuel Prison in Ethiopia. The federal government has unveiled a new national HIV/AIDS strategic plan 2026-2030 aimed at shifting Nigeria's HIV response from heavy reliance on donor funding to a sustainable, locally driven model. Speaking at the launch in Abuja, the Director General of National Agency for the Control of AIDS, Dr. Temitope Ilori, said Nigeria had reached a critical stage in its fight against HIV/AIDS and must adopt a new approach to financing and implementing programs. Ilori noted that although the country had recovered significant progress in reducing new infections and expanding access to treatment over the last 2 decades, declining external support and changing realities made in transition to a more sustainable system necessary. Speaker of the House of Representatives Abbas Tajuddin announced the appointment of Honorable Fred Agbedi, PDP Bayelsa, as the new minority leader of the House. The Speaker said at plenary that the emergence of Agbedi as minority leader was a unanimous decision by the members of the Minority Caucus. In their letter read by the Speaker, the caucus said they were appointing Agbedi, who is one of the most experienced members of the House, by consensus to occupy the position vacated by Kingsley Chinda, who resigned the position to contest the governorship election on the platform of the All Progressive Congress. The House of Representatives has passed the state police bill, effectively making way for the decentralization of the Nigerian policing architecture. The resolution followed the voting by 289 lawmakers in favor of state police during plenary session presided over by the Speaker Tajuddin Abbas. The House committed to voting on the state police bill following the spike in killings, kidnappings and banditry in the past 4 months. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, has issued a strong warning to contractors handling federal road projects, insisting that poor performance and project delay will no longer be tolerated. The minister gave the warning during an inspection of ongoing road and bridge project along the Abuja-Lokoja and Lokoja-Benin corridor. We'll bring you that report in our subsequent bulletin. A High Court of the Federal Capital Territory FCT sitting in Maitama has fixed June 18 for the commencement of trial in the criminal case against the factional chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Kabiru Turaki. Justice Peter Kekemeke chose the date after rejecting the request by Turaki's lawyer, Abdulaziz Ibrahim, that he should first deliver ruling on an application by the defendant challenging the competence of the charge brought against him by the Inspector General of Police, that is IGP. Turaki is in the one-count charge, accused of, among others, giving false information to the IGP through a petition he wrote on his letterhead dated October 5, 2022 against one Said Mohammed Manasara, with intent to use the lawful power of IGP to the injury of annoyance of the said Manasara. A former national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, that is PDP, Ekwenseleze Nwodo, has called for greater national unity and collective political action to reposition Nigeria for more meaningful development and progress. Nwodo made the call while speaking during a courtesy visit by members of the Igbo Elders Consultative Forum to former Kano State Governor Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso at his Abuja residence. Zarau Nasif reports for Global.
Former national chairman of the People's Democratic Party and ex-governor of Enugu State, Ekwenseleze Nwodo, says Nigeria's current challenges demand stronger national cohesion and renewed citizen participation in democratic governance. Addressing members of the Igbo Elders Consultative Forum during their visit to former Kano State Governor Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, Nwodo stressed that unity across political and regional lines remains essential to rebuilding public confidence and securing national progress. He criticized the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, alleging that worsening insecurity, economic hardship, and declining living conditions continue to place pressure on Nigerians. Nwodo argued that government must fulfill its constitutional responsibility of protecting lives and creating conditions for economic stability. He urged citizens to remain politically conscious and actively shape the nation's future through informed participation in the democratic process.
We have a leadership that has failed in its principal commitment to its people as they swore under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to protect our lives and our properties. You see gruesome pictures every day on our national televisions.
Responding, former Kano State Governor Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso appreciated the delegation for what he described as a demonstration of confidence and shared commitment to national development. Kwankwaso said the movement remains focused on advancing practical solutions to Nigeria's economic and security concerns while promoting responsible leadership. He noted that growing public expectations require governance driven by accountability, inclusion, and measurable impact.
But this is politics. And the good thing is this is 2026, and the election is even coming 2027. The young men and women who are looking for a way out have no alternative other than this our party, because everybody is looking for a positive.
The meeting comes amid increasing political consultations and strategic alignments ahead of the next electoral cycle, as opposition figures intensify calls for governance reforms and broader national engagement. Zahra Unasr, Global TV News.
Human rights activist and social crusader Martin Vincent Otse, popularly known as Vidman, Larry Darkman, has called for the immediate release of school children and teachers abducted from school in Orire local government area of Oyo State. The activists join other concerned Nigerians in demanding urgent action to secure the freedom of the victims. Ubong Usoro reports.
Leading the protest, Very Dark Man and other demonstrators marched from the defense headquarters to Banex Junction in Abuja, calling on the federal government and security agencies to intensify efforts to rescue the abducted pupils and teachers. Also speaking, a protester, Alam Selan, said the government must rise to the challenge of securing lives and property across the country and ensuring the safe return of the abducted victims.
Must stop. Yes. See this country, we the youth take it back. Bandits are not up to 1,000. Do you know how many Nigerians are? Over 3 million Nigerians, 300 million Nigerians.
The protesters vow to continue their demonstrations until the abducted children and teachers are released and reunited with their families. They also urge the government and security agencies to take decisive action to address the country's growing security challenges. Ubong Usoro, Global TV News.
The Minister of Works, David Umahi, has issued a strong warning to contractors handling federal road projects, insisting that poor performance and project delay will no longer be tolerated. That the minister gave the warning during an inspection of ongoing road and bridge projects along the Abuja-Lokoja and Lokoja-Benin corridors. Kabir Hassan reports.
Concerned by the pace of work on some critical federal highways, the Minister of Works, David Umahi, inspected ongoing projects in Kogi and Edo State. The minister expressed dissatisfaction with the level of work on sections of Abuja-Lokoja dual carriage, noting that progress on the ground did not match the report submitted to the ministry.
I'm giving you 72 hours to effectively deploy on this road. Utilize the money while I'm chasing release of the money the president has graciously signed. That we can't be pampering contractors. If you are holding the money of the federal government, you have to bring it out and do the job.
Umahi subsequently issued 72 hours ultimatum to one of the contractors to demonstrate visible progress on the project, warning that failure to comply will attract sanction. The minister also blamed some ministry officials for poor supervision, saying accountability must be strengthened to ensure value for public funds and timely project delivery.
If everybody does their job, they won't be held up on this corridor. Definitely, I'm going to remove my staff, Ministry of Work staff that are not doing well. Some are supervising 10 projects, yet they cannot answer any question on any of the projects. And yet you'll be calling out Minister of Work, you'll be calling out President Tinubu. You leave people that have failed the nation. You are calling those who, lose their sleep day and night.
Despite concerns over project, Umahi commended contractors delivering quality work and assured Nigerians that the federal government remains committed to completing critical road projects across the country. The minister says stronger monitoring and enforcement measures will be adopted to ensure contractors meet their obligations and deliver projects that improve transportation and economic activities nationwide. Kabir Hassan, Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. News Cycle continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign, and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Welcome. Thursday morning was mostly calm across most parts of the country. However, our attention is shifted eastwards, where developing weather systems are expected to propagate westwards overnight into Friday morning to give prospects of morning thunderstorms in the north-central states, parts of Kaduna, with morning rains to the southern region of the country. By afternoon and evening hours, thunderstorms are expected to affect parts of Adamawa, Taraba, Bauchi, Gombe, Kaduna, Plateau, some north-central states, while low to moderate rainfall is expected to the southern region of the country. That's the forecast for Friday. I am Theodora Itzum. Thank you for watching.
Welcome back from that break. Now let's take you to the world of business. President Bola Tinubu has urged residents and businesses in the Federal Capital Territory to pay their taxes, grant rents, and other statutory charges, saying government revenue remains vital for sustaining infrastructural development. The president made the call while inaugurating the completed Arteria Road N5 linking Life Camp Junction to Ring Road 3 in Abuja. Kabir Hassan reports.
The newly completed arterial route M5 is expected to improve connectivity between several communities in the Federal Capital Territory while boosting access to Idu Industrial District. Represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, President Bola Tinubu said the project reflects his administration commitment to delivering infrastructure that supports economic growth and improve lives of citizens.
Citizens provide civic responsibility. To the residents and business owners enjoying this transformation, I urge you to meet your obligations, pay your taxes, pay your land and ground rent fees. Your compliance empowers the FCT administration to build more roads like this one. Do not allow vandals to destroy what we have built with our collective resources. Be custodians of your own progress. This is a reminder that Nigeria is on the move. We are reforming, we are building, we are delivering, and will not be distracted. We will not slow down. We will continue to prove, project after project, that the age of promise without performance has come to an end.
President Tinubu noted that the road will ease movement, reduce transportation costs, and create job opportunities for businesses by improving access to industrial and commercial centers. He added that the Renewed Hope agenda is focused on completing critical road projects and delivering tangible benefits to Nigerians. Delivering a speech, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, described the project as another milestone in the administration infrastructure drive.
June 2024, when we had the first year anniversary of Mr. President, Your Excellency, we took 9 days of commissioning of projects. Your Excellency, in the second year anniversary, we took 19 days. Your Excellency, to the glory of God, in this third year, we are taking 31 days of commissioning of projects. The Renewed Hope agenda is working in the FCT. We did not concentrate development or provision of infrastructure just in the city's center. No. I can say for the first time that development has been taken to the satellite towns in the Federal Capital Territory.
Wike stated that infrastructure development is no longer concentrated within the city center, noting that the satellite towns are increasingly benefiting from the government. The inauguration of the road formed part of activities marking the 3rd anniversary of Tinubu's administration, while officials expressing optimism that improved infrastructure will further stimulate economic growth and development across the Federal Capital Territory. Kabir Hassan, Global TV News.
The federal government of Nigeria has raised 4.678 billion naira through its June 2026 saving bond issuance, reflecting stronger retail investor participation in government-backed security. The allotment result released by the Debt Management Office that the amount exceeded the 4.074 billion naira raised in May 2026. The DMO stated that the June offer, which was open for subscription from June 1 to June 5, comprises two instruments: a 2-year bond with a coupon rate of 13.777% and a 3-year bond offering of 14.777%. The federal government has called on Eni to fast-track final investment decision, that is FID, on the $20 billion Zabazaba and Bonga West project, as the nation continues to implement measures to scale up its oil production. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Henikin Lokpobiri, said the project is expected to raise Nigerians' crude oil production by 150,000 barrels per day. Speaking during a meeting with the management of the Eni in his office in Abuja, Lokpobiri said the multinational needs to fast-track the FID process so that the Nigerians can begin to enjoy the economic benefits and opportunities arising from this strategic investment. The Senate has ordered the arrest of the former group managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, Mele Kyari, following his failure to appear before its public account committee. The order came as a result of his refusal to honor an invitation by the Senate Public Account Committee following an auditor report that indicated the inability of the NNPCL to account for funds put at several billions of naira. Now to the foreign scene. The first batch of Nigerians affected by a wave of anti-migrant protests and attack in South Africa is being repatriated under a federal government evacuation program. The development comes amid growing tension over immigration, with hundreds of foreign nationals seeking to leave the country following weeks of unrest. Mukhtar Kasim reports.
Dozens of Nigerians arrived at the OR Tambo International Airport near Johannesburg as authorities commenced evacuation procedures for those who volunteered to return home. Nigerian officials say some of those returning home have lost their livelihoods, while others have been displaced by violence and intimidation linked to anti-immigration campaign.
They're leaving because they don't feel safe. They're leaving because they want to go home. They're leaving because some of them are stranded, some of them are destitute, and they haven't been able to afford the ticket home. But now they have the opportunity, thanks to our government, to go home, safe return.
The repatriation follows weeks of anti-immigration demonstrations and attacks that have left many foreign nationals fearful of their safety and uncertain about their future in South Africa. For many evacuees, returning home is now viewed as a safer option than remaining in an increasingly hostile environment.
The experience that I have here in South Africa is terrible. I'm 14 years here in South Africa. Since going up and down, not stable. So I rather give up for me to go home with my life than going home with injuries.
Immigration authorities in South Africa say the repatriation exercise is being conducted under existing immigration laws, with screening and documentation processes taking place before departure. Officials also acknowledged that limited manpower has placed additional pressure on personnel handling operation.
This flight arrives here midnight. We only hope to see these guys leaving this airport around 2 o'clock in the morning. And that has been the case even with the departure of the Ghanaians. We do not have the extra staff, and that's always what we plead for in immigration. We just have about 800 people for the whole of the country, and it's an area that we can really improve on.
The evacuation comes as South Africa continues to grapple with growing anti-immigration sentiment, with several African countries already repatriating citizens affected by the unrest. Nigerian authorities say additional flights will be deployed as efforts continue to assist nationals who wish to return home from the country. Mukhtar Kasim, Global TV News.
And still on the foreign scene, Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni says the country's Ebola outbreak is showing signs of decline after health authorities recorded no new infection in recent days. He made the remarks during the national address as officials continue effort to contain the disease. Again, Mukhtar Kasim has the rest of the story.
Ugandan health authorities say no new Ebola cases have been recorded in the last 5 days, raising hopes that the outbreak is gradually coming under control. President Museveni urged citizens to remain vigilant and follow public health guidelines to prevent further infections.
5 days now, no new case. It looks as if the fire of Ebola has started going down. So therefore, please, we've got a lot of work to do. Let's be very serious. We don't have to keep playing around with it. Listen carefully and act. This is easy to stop. We stopped it in the past, we can stop it now.
Museveni added that the outbreak has claimed 2 lives, both identified as Congolese nationals who entered Uganda from the Democratic Republic of Congo. The government says containment measures have helped limit transmission and prevent wider spread.
This is a very simple thing. A few people came from Congo. A total of how many now, including the ones who died, are all Congolese. The 2.
Uganda has successfully contained previous Ebola outbreaks through surveillance, contact tracing, and public awareness campaigns. Authorities say monitoring remains active as they work to ensure no new infections are recorded. Mukhtar Kasim, Global TV News.
And now in sports, Nigeria's preparation to host the 2027 African School Games have received a major boost with the Association of National Olympic Committee of Africa, that is ANOCO, expressing confidence in the country's readiness to stage the continental event. The endorsement came during a strategic review meeting in Abuja between ANOCO officials and the local organizing committee. And Niete Patrick has more.
The journey towards hosting the 2027 African School Games gathered momentum as members of the ANOCA's African School Games Coordination Commission met with Nigeria's local organizing committee in Abuja. During the session, the local organizing committee chairman Lekan Abari presented a comprehensive hosting blueprint detailing competition venues, accommodation plans, logistics, and legacy projects for the game.
They are working deeply to ensure that this is achieved, and we hope as soon as the seamless transition begins to flow, then people will begin to see our visibility and the results that we want to achieve.
After reviewing the plans, Chairman of ANOCA Africa School Games Coordination Commission, Joa da Costa Manuel, expressed satisfaction with the level of preparation so far and urged organizers to sustain the momentum towards delivering a successful tournament. The ANOCA delegation is also scheduled to inspect key facilities across Abuja as preparations continue for what is expected to be Africa's biggest school sports festival.
I want to congratulate Nigeria for this good presentation. So the master plan is very, very good. And I think Nigeria is ready to organize the next school game.
Nigeria was awarded the hosting rights for the second edition of the African School Games in 2025, with the event expected to feature athletes aged 14 to 16 competing in more than 20 sporting disciplines. Anitie Patrick, Global TV News.
And that's it in News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, StarTimes channel 276, and Free TV. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Thank you for watching.